for like film snobs of basically our generation, like we don't really need any excuse to talk about Daniel Day-Lewis. And he's in his first movie in what, 8 years right now?
8 years.
Anemone. Yeah. So
Yes.
last time he had a movie was Phantom Thread, which in my like aging mind, I'm like, that wasn't that long ago. It was like 4 years ago, right? But it was quite a while ago. So how did he come back for Anemone, and what's the deal?
He came back with his son, Ronan Day Lewis. They wrote the movie together, Katie. And as they
Wow.
said at this event that I went to on Tuesday night, which the great Martin Scorsese did the Q&A after.
I mean,
Just
I do believe they know each other fairly well.
they wrote the script together during COVID. It seemed like because they
Okay.
were together, and like their brief was, we'll only write this when we're in the same place. So like they had a Google Doc that they did when they were together, but then they were separate. But during the pandemic, if one was in the city and like Daniel Day Lewis apparently was in Boston, God knows what he was doing there. Was he researching? Who knows? That's what they said last night. But and then they would wait
Studying to
and then
become
come back
a Boston
together.
Bruins hockey player, there's no telling.
It would be great. And they co-wrote this movie together, and it's really just the Daniel Day Lewis show. And it is like, I think the movie is out in real release today as you're watching this, and it's like a greatest Daniel Day Lewis greatest hits, because you can watch it and be like, oh, this is like him in There Will Be Blood, or here's him doing. It's like a real movie, and it is like a great showcase for, I think, what makes Daniel Day Lewis so captivating. Which I was just watching the movie last night, and I was like, and we've talked about like rewatching some of his older movies, and like, man, he's just such a magnetic presence. And it's like, you don't really, he's such a limited resource, because he
Yeah,
only makes
yeah.
movies like every 5, 6, 7 years or whatever. It's just great seeing him on screen, regardless of the movie was not for me. I
Okay.
didn't love it,
I
but
have. You're not the only person. It's a first time director. I think you always kind of know you're going into someone's first film. Like it's rare for it to be a slam dunk. And Daniel Day Lewis has been so selective in the movies he's made. He just hasn't made very many movies where you walk out of it being like, yeah, he's good, but whatever. At least not since the '90s, which we can talk about.
in terms of the movie, I was like, Ronan Day Lewis, certainly not just having Daniel Day Lewis as his father, but Rebecca Miller as his mother. So it's like, they were great. That's, he's got to have a lot of
Artistic legacy is strong.
that's great, an artistic legacy. And I thought it's it's a first time, certainly, like, you could watch the movie and be like, a first time filmmaker made this movie. But I think there's enough in the movie where I was like, wow, I actually think I would be very encouraged to see his next movie, and it's like really well directed. There's a lot of ceremonies, and I think Daniel Day Lewis will probably get some nomination at some ceremony.
Oh, you think so?
Whether
Okay.
it's the BAFTA Awards or a
Yeah.
critics group or something, because it is such a great performance, even if the movie isn't great
Yeah.
as the performance.